Hey boys, welcome back to some more NRL Supercoach. It's going to be the round 4 preview, and there has been carnage in the team list. There's been a lot of players. I don't know. I don't want to say we've been unaffected or overly affected. We're probably middle ground of affectedness. We've had a few of them. So there's a lot of decisions to make. I mean, I got to be honest, I'm very happy that I saved the boost last week. And also, one other thing that happened with the Kai Pearce-Paul situation, bringing him in a week early has proved a very favourable decision. So, I've got my initial thoughts have changed a couple of times. I've now been thinking of something pretty crazy potentially I'm going to do with my trades. But let's just go through the team as it stands and who is, I guess, priority trade out. So Reece Robson obviously is not going to get traded out. If there was no carnage, I was definitely considering Levi up to Coruscant, but with everything going on, I don't think that is I think that's a luxury trade that I probably just aren't. I'm just not going to do. I mean, I'll look at it when I'm pretty confident I'm going to be using a boost this week. I'll be surprised if I don't. I think that's a given. So we could. I'll see what other trades we need. But Terrell May, he's starting. Beautiful. Liam Henry. I mean, with that forward pack, I think Liam Henry's good. I mean, maybe not for 50s, but I think 40, 45 is still very, very doable. So fantastic. Farmasili is still not playing, so beautiful. Sam Hughes which is a downer because he stinks, but it is what it is. What is it? Oh man, his break even's probably going to be like, where is it? 21. Okay, so he'll probably. He's going to sit at like 250k for the rest of his damn life, dude, but it's fine. The back row, oh my sweet God. So, I was talking about the Kai Pearce-Paul thing, and this is, oh man, Supercoach is kicked me while it's down a lot this opening few weeks, but the Pearce-Paul thing is one that it's looked favourably on me slightly because I had Joe Chan in, right? I didn't have Pearce-Paul last week, but then the news that Chan was out, originally I was like losing. I was like, are you kidding me? That is terrible. Like I'm not able to trade to someone I really wanted to, like a Curran or even somebody else earlier. And I was looking, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck. Pearce-Paul, he's starting. He's at a good price. He's going to make money. It was still like a 50-50. Like, do I just keep Chan and hope that he keeps a spot when he's back and the Storm have the bye this week, so it was going to be an absolute pain in the ass, especially with all the players out now. But I was like, you know what? Bring Pearce-Paul in. I think it's not going to be a trap. Like, okay, he might not keep the spot, but he's not going to like lose money, right? He'll get some minutes, he'll get some points. But lo and behold, he keeps a spot. And now Dylan Lucas is out of the 17, so that's probably even better news for Pearce-Paul. And all of a sudden, I got a guy that's 390k, going to make more cash, and he's honestly, I know the Knights have a tough matchup against the Warriors, but I still think Pearce-Paul is a very, very good play in your 17. He's he's a super coach player. Like I don't know if he's throwing too many offloads yet, but he's definitely an offloader. He's a tackle buster. The attack is definitely on the cards for Pearce-Paul, so that is one thing that is I feel good about. I feel very good about. And then it still leaves Chan as a nice downgrade in a couple of weeks, so that's beautiful. Tupanua, oh my God, this man, I know it's only been 3 rounds, but he's been on thin ice for all 3 rounds, and I think he's going to survive another week. Like, you look back, I mean, after the Roosters game, it was 100, like, there was not a doubt in my mind that Tupanua was gone. Like, I was going to trade him out. There was no reason I was not going to. But then, obviously, Pierre Cora is injured. Now, I don't necessarily. I would like to obviously get more information on the Pierre Cora injury. If he's only gone for a week, then I'll probably keep Pierre Cora, right? But if he's gone for I think the latest was potentially a month, right? So if he's gone for a month, I do think he's a trade out. I think you just got to trade him out. And honestly, it'll probably be good. Like, unfortunately, I think he's an absolute star. I think he's so damn good, but he is susceptible to a head knock. He is a bit injury prone, and it's just a bit of a nightmare having him, relying on him in year 17. So if you got to trade him out, it's probably a silver lining just not having to worry about him getting a head knock or getting another injury. So we'll see. Obviously, I want to get like further updates on the severity, but we'll see. But Tupouniua, I mean, at the end of the day, like I was looking before, Tupouniua, he's 401. His break even is only 23. So like I'm probably not going to play him in my 17 this week, especially because they take on the Panthers. But again, even if he only plays 60 minutes, he's going to make cash, so there's no real reason to trade him out yet. I think there's other priority trades at the moment. So I think Tupouniua is going to survive another week. He's not going to be in the 17, but he will make a bit of cash, and then he's probably, I mean, we got a couple of guys, but he's probably number one priority next week to trade down to Chan after their bye, but we'll see. Again, we'll probably just look at break evens and see which one of our back rowers is going to start leaking cash, honestly. Because Smithies, like I said, he probably has to go in a couple of weeks as well. Fermor, I mean, he's probably the most solid out of the back row at the moment. I mean, it's not a high standard, but he got 53 in a terrible outing. So I don't know. I mean, Fermor, give him another week. Again, if he's going to start leaking cash, like we could downgrade him. Sean Lane, I'm probably more happy to hold Sean Lane because he's still playing 80 minutes. Like, surely he's going to start getting a bit of attack. But we'll see. And then Pierce Paul, I actually think is a bit of a... I think he's a gun. I think he's going to be probably the best out of the bunch here. I think he's going to be. So, yeah, there's definitely some moving parts in the back row, but probably Pierre Cora is the guy to go this week. But, again, we'll have to wait and see if he's actually going to be missing a few games. The halfbacks. So, the halfbacks are a bit of a shambles. So, we got Hines, obviously, still there. And I wasn't looking to trade out Hines anyway. I know a lot of people were potentially going to trade Hines, and I know I did say in the review that, yeah, you could look at maybe Moses for Hines, but that's been shot down pretty quickly. Nathan Cleary, one, is gone, so he's out of here. And then what's his face? Mitch Moses is also out. So Mitch Moses is gone for like 8 weeks with a broken foot. Cleary is an interesting one because, like, it's a hamstring, and he has had hamstring issues in the past, which I think is bad. They are saying it's only minor, but like, I still think he's a trade out, right? Because like, he misses this game. There's a lot of talk that he's going to be back for Manly in round 5, but like, is he like really? Like, I feel like that's crazy that they would risk him in round 5 when they have the bye in round 6. So I do think Cleary's a trade out, and then I don't know. Do you try to get him straight back in for round 7? Maybe. You probably do, right? I know that's a little crazy, but I do think he's a trade out. But there's a couple of things here, right? Originally, I was like, there's no real reason for me to trade him out because I would have gone to Moses, but Moses is obviously out. And then the rest of the halfbacks, I'm just not keen on. I mean, Hughes is probably the best, but he's on a bye this week. So I was like, I'm probably just going to keep Cleary. But I'll talk about my potential options in a second. For some people that have, obviously, Drew Hutchison in the centre wing, I think 100% swing Hutchison up to the halfback and then trade out Cleary for a centre winger, because there are some very, very juicy centre wing options that, yeah, you can make good cash on downgrading Cleary and also get some very, very nice points. So I think that's great. But if you don't have that option, then like me originally, I was like, yeah, I think just hold Cleary. Hopefully that he does come back. If not next week, then hopefully just straight after the bye. But again, with a hamstring injury, it's just a bit of an... It's very unknown, and clubs are not very open with their player diagnosis. So, yeah, a bit of a worry. But again, I'll talk about the options in a second here. So we got Luke Brooks in the 5'8", which I'm very happy with, and then Lockie Galvin doing some great stuff. 72 points, you'll love to see it. Going to make some very nice cash. So both those guys are sticking around for at least a bit. Then the centre wing, Tuvashek, Taylor May, Trebojevic, they're all staying. Trebojevic obviously is a bit meh, but at the end of the day, he's still a dual centre wing second rower that's playing in a Manly side that's attacking well. So surely he's going to get a few attacking stats in the next couple of weeks, I'd hope. Tuapiki is... He's a tricky one as well, because part of me is like... I'm very tempted to hold him this week because just the off chance that... Chance was a bit of a different one because he had a hamstring and also like a lower back. Like it was a bit of a difficult injury because he had like two things going on. So I still think potentially Chance is going to be out for a couple of extra weeks. So that means like Tuapiki was obviously favoured over Tuvashek at the fullback spot, right? So Tuapiki gone this week, but if he's back next week, he's still going to make good cash. So I'm tempted to hold him this week, and then obviously if he's still not back, or if Chance is back next week, then obviously you just get rid of Tuapiki. He's obviously not going to be long for the team, but I am tempted just to hold him a week and just hope that you don't hope that Chance is gone for a bit longer, but you are sort of hoping, but we'll see. And then Bostock, obviously, good to go. He's going to make good cash. Strange, good to go. And then Gagai, obviously, has to go to one of the cheapies, I would say. And there are a couple. There are a couple of cheapies I talked about in the team list preview that are popping up. A couple, I guess the main one actually is Tuolangi. Or Talangi, but we can wait on Talangi a little bit as well, so that's why I'm probably not going to jump on him this week, but you could. I don't think it's necessarily a terrible early play. And then Tommy, Trebojevic, and Ponga, I'm not really looking to trade them out. They've already lost cash, and I still think they got very high upside potential. So the left field thing, the left field thing I was thinking, the one thing I was thinking actually was fucking swing Brooks up to halfback and trade Cleary for Dylan Brown. I know I just got rid of Brown last week, but I gotta be honest, I was half tempted by that. Trade Cleary to Brown. And then, yeah, I don't hate it. It's obviously you don't love to do that. Like you don't like trading a player out and then bringing him back in straight away. But I don't know, Brown without Moses. I'm trying to think, like, is he actually better without Moses in the team? There's a couple of train of thoughts, right? Like, I know people might think that, yeah, he's going to get more involved in attack, but I actually think it could be worse for him because he's going to be asked to do a lot more kicking. He's going to be asked to do a lot more organising. Maybe Talangi is going to be very good at, like, his kicking game's going to be excellent and he'll be good at organising as well. But, like, Brown's gone to halfback, so he's going to have to organise. I think that takes away a bit of his appeal because you want Brown to just play what he sees, you want him getting the ball and just taking the line on, hitting those short balls. You don't want him having to organise the attack necessarily. Obviously he does anyway, like obviously halves do, but I just don't think I want to do that yet. I still think Brown's got a fair bit of money to lose unless he goes bonkers in the next couple of weeks. So the other thing I was thinking, still along the lines of swinging Brooks up to halfback, is then I could then so Trey Cleary. I mean, we'll have a look. Let's see. Are there any halfbacks that pique my interest? I mean, I get Benny Hunter's been pretty good, but like he just doesn't have the ceiling. He just doesn't. Mitch Mo's out. The Chad. Fucking Nico Hines is number 6 in the. He's behind Chad Townsend. Oh my god. Oh man, that'll send a chill up your spine. Jamar Fogarty. So a few people are interested in him, but he's had a bit of a shocker last week. Cherry Evans hasn't been great either. Sean Johnson. I mean, Jesus Christ, some of these scores. Sammy Walker looks like he's not kicking goals. I mean, Jerome Hughes. Yeah, you can't go. He's on the bye this week as well, so like, you can't go Hughes obviously, but he got 130. No, I was looking there. 88 points, 42 against Penrith. I mean, it's been pretty good, but you just can't do it. So yeah, it's no halfbacks that I want. There's just none. There's no halfbacks that I'm interested in. So swing Brooks up to halfback. Then we swing Strange up to 5'8". Then we run the Strange Galvin cheapy 5'8" combo, and we bring in any centre wing gun we bloody well want and make money on it. I think this is the way we do it. I actually think this is the way we do it. Because honestly, I'm happy to play Strange. I mean, if they both had good matchups, I'd be happy to play both of them the way they're going. And if like one of them had a good matchup and the other didn't, then I'm happy to play one or the other. I just think they're both pretty solid. I mean, I know Strange has had a couple of like 20s, but I think he can go pretty well. He'll get more comfortable. I mean, Galvin has gone massive, but I wouldn't expect Galvin to keep going like 60 plus, obviously, but again, if he's got a decent matchup, I don't mind the play. And I just think this is the best option because, like, any of these centre wingers are far more enticing than those halfbacks. Like, really. Hughes is the only exception, but he's on a bye this week, so there's no point. If I was going to do that, I might as well just hold Cleary and just wait to see if he's back next week. But this way, I mean, we could... and this is what I was talking about. There are some big moves to make. I already had 600k in the kitty, and oh baby, we are going to go on a spending spree now. Who do I like? This is. I mean, this is also. It's, you obviously don't like to see injuries and stuff, but it does make for some exciting Supercoach, debates and potential trade-ins and stuff. So. Who are the top priorities, I think? I mean, Holmes, I think, is number one, honestly. Like, I know you've missed out. Like, you've missed out on... Thankfully, last week he only got, like, 50. Otherwise, my God, he'd be through the roof. But you missed out on 108. You missed out on 144. And you look at those 3 games, oh, my God. I just keep kicking myself because I'm like, Holmes was, like, so good for me last year. And he started at like a similar price. I honestly don't know why I didn't start with Holmes. Like, fucking look at the draw, man. Looking at the draw, I am kicking myself for not starting with him. Like, more than any other player. Like, I'm not kicking myself that I started with Hines and Ponga that have been a bit shaky and other guys, like... Because I was always going to do that. But Holmes, I just didn't even really think about it. And he's been like man. I'm frustrated with myself on that one. That's one in particular I am annoyed with myself on. Because I feel like most years I do start with Holmes. But for whatever reason this year, I think just because there was good value in some of those centre wingers, I was like, we'll go with those. But you need one of these premium guys, dude. But yeah, you look at that draw and you're like, oh, they've already had the good draw. But then you look at it more and it's pretty good. Like, they take on a very understrength Broncos. Like, I expect that to be a pretty high scoring game. Then they take on the Gold Coast Titans. Then they take on Parramatta, who will still be without Mitch Moses. And they've been a bit leaky. The Sharks, I don't know. We don't really know what they're going to dish up. Penrith will be tough, obviously, but then they play the Dolphins again, then they play Gold Coast again, then they play the Rabbits, who, I mean, you know, at that point the Rabbits might be going good, then the Tigers, and then they have, Origins up next. When do they have their first bye? It's like in round 16. So, I mean, obviously Holmes will be out through Origin, but, I mean, I remember last year I kept Holmes through Origin just because I didn't need to trade him out, and he went massive. Like, he went like 150s in his games he was backing up. So, I think you just get in Holmes. Like, I think Holmes is number one priority, honestly. Isaac Tungo, I'm not keen on. Mulatalo, I'm also not keen on. Lomax, I'm very keen on. Garrick, I'm also keen on. If I'm choosing Lomax or Garrick, that's a tough one, honestly. It's a very tough one. I mean, there's good and bad for both. I mean, Lomax is much more poddish. Garrick is more expensive as well. So Lomax is more pod. He's quite a bit cheaper. But then Garrick is in a far better attacking team. And, I mean, just the Tom Trbojevic factor. They come up against each other. Of course they come up against each other too this week, which is beautiful. Which is probably better for Garrick, if we're being honest. It's probably the Manly up against Dragons is probably better for Manly players rather than the Dragons coming up against Manly. I think that's pretty obvious. But who have they got? So yeah, they got Manly, Newcastle Tigers. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good draw. Warriors, Roosters, Sharks, Souths, bye, Bulldogs, and then they get to play Penrith over Origin. That's pretty nice as well, honestly. I mean, they're going to be missing, they'll be missing a few for sure, but that's actually really nice. And then they play Tigers. That's juicy because they get to play Penrith over the Origin period. That's lovely. I guess they'll be missing Ben Hunt as well, but like, yeah, the Panthers will be missing quite a few more. I do like Lomax, but then we look at Garrick. Cheeky Garrick. They've got... I mean, I don't know. I know they were talking about Lomax maybe playing Origin, but surely not. I mean, I don't know. Garrick and Lomax are probably both outside roughies chances for a wing spot maybe. But they have Dragons, then Penrith. I mean, that Penrith game... Cleary may or may not be playing. Then they have the Warriors, Gold Coast, Parramatta, Canberra, Dolphins, Bronx, Melbourne. Then they miss the major bye. Then they play Penrith after Origin. Probably looking at that, I probably prefer Lomax's draw. I think I do. Yeah, I think so. I think I probably prefer Lomax over Garrick. I just think there's a few more things going for him. But the Dragons factor is a worry. It definitely is. But Lomax is still going. He's just really involved. Toto, yeah, not interested. I mean, he's very solid. He's been going great, but I don't know. Especially without Cleary now, I'm just not that keen. Rapana, no. Talakai, probably not. Like, he's a very safe option, but... And I know playing in the forward pack, people might be a little bit more interested, but I don't see that really giving him too much more of a boost than what he does in centres. And I just don't think he has the upside of some of these other guys. Dallin is juicy, but just a little bit too expensive. I think I'd rather just go Garrick or Lomax. Gago, I know. Manu, interested. Kiraz, there's so many. Kiraz he's starting to look pretty good. How's their draw, dude? How's the doggies draw? Because, man, Kiraz can just score so well on his own. I mean, you do have to 49, 47, and then 115 against the very shocking Titans. Then they have, it's pretty tough. I mean, Rabbits aren't good, but then Roosters, Melbourne, Newcastle, bye. Yeah, I don't particularly like that run, because even then, Tigers, yeah, it could be good, but then Penrith, Canberra, don't think Kiraz. Dom Young is also very tempting. Fido also very tempting, but I probably like Dom Young because they take on Penrith without Cleary, without Sorensen. Like it's a pretty good matchup for the Roosters now. So that was their tough game. I just think Dom Young, like he did this at the Knights, and you might look and be like, oh, he scored so many tries and only averaged like 60 odd, but he's playing in a better Roosters team, and I think he's still a young guy. Like he's only played a couple of seasons. Like he is going to get better as a winger. So like I don't think like last year definitely wasn't his peak. So I think you got to get on him pretty soon, otherwise he's going to skyrocket. Because, it's Penrith, Bulldogs, Knights, Storm, Dragons, Bronx. They don't play 13. Actually, no, they do play 13. They didn't have a bye. When was that bye? Oh, round 1. That's right. Round 1. So, he's good to go. That's right. He's not changing price, you damn fool. So, I like Young. At the moment, we're just going at Holmes. I think just go Holmes. It doesn't make us as much cash, but it's not like we needed to make that much cash from this trade because we already had a lot in the bank. And I think it's nice. And I don't know, people, I'll be interested to see if people are like, you've lost your mind, or if they think it's a good idea. You gotta take some pod plays sometimes. So it's not so much a pod play, but like running a dual cheapy 5'8", I don't hate it, man. I honestly don't hate it. The 5'8s have been a little bit lackluster, and I think there's just better upside in the centre wing. I think just trying to bulk that centre wing up nice and early in the season is the play. I just think it is. So I'm happy to do it. I'm actually very happy to do it. So call me crazy, but I'm pretty locked in. And then what we can do, so I guess I'm still undecided who I'm trading, but it's probably Piakora. Piakora gone. Then we switch Ben Trbojevic up, so now we can bring in another centre wing gun, and I do think it's Dom Young. I actually do think it's Dom Young. Yeah. I think it is. I think it's Dom Young. At the moment, I could, like, there's so many good options. This is one of those ones where it's a throw at the dartboard. Like, you could pick a Kiraz, you could pick a Manu, you could pick so many of these guys. But I just think if you're not picking up Dom Young this week, you're not going to get him because he's going to go up way too much cash, I think, to be worth it. Like, obviously, Holmes has gone up so much cash, but I do think, like, Holmes is a genuine keeper till the end. Dom Young may or may not be. We'll see. If the Roosters continue to attack well, then he will be, but it's up in the air. And he hasn't changed price yet with that buy, so it's beautiful. So that is what we've done at the moment. I gotta say, fuck it makes it look pretty strong on paper. Holmes, Young, Tuvashek, Taylor May. Don't mind it. Don't mind if I do. And then we could go crazy. And that's what I was talking about. We could trade Leap. What do we do? There's so many options. What do we do? Like, it's nice saving the boost. Like, honestly, it is. Especially if you don't have to use it. But, like, is Api Koroisau must-have? He probably is, right? He probably is. I'm not expecting him to score 80 to 100 points every week, but, like, we can get rid of Levi, who, I mean, what is his break-even? He's probably going to make, he's going to make a bit more cash. His break-even's 12, so, yeah, you get, like, to 300k, but we're going to have to trade Levi out anyway. And, I mean, originally I was like, I'll trade Levi to Grant, but honestly, I'm not that keen on Grant. Like, I think I think Grant is a guy you definitely just wait till after Origin at this point. Like, he could go on a run before Origin for sure. Like, when the Storm get their players back from the bye, that potentially that could be the time to bring Grant in. But I don't know. I think potentially you fade Grant till after Origin, but things could change. So I think Levi to Coruscant. We could. I mean, again, we could. Oh, we could trade. We could go fucking. We could go crazy and trade Tuapiki to another gun center winger. Do I want to do that though? Probably not. Let's just have a look now at our 17, because the thing is, if I bring in another gun center winger, then I'm gonna have to drop someone pretty good. Like, let's just have a look. So obviously Ponga and Trbojevic are gonna play. RTS, May, definite. Well, I mean, May you may not say is definite, but I still think he is. Like, I think, you know, last game was, it's a bit of an underachiever, but he's going to be better than that for sure. Holmes and Young obviously plays. Even against Penrith, you're bringing Young in, you're going to play him. I mean, we got to play one of Ethan Strange and Galvin. I mean, let's have a look. The Raiders play the Sharkies and Tigers play Parramatta. It's not the best matchup for both of them. Who do I rather? Fuck, I don't know. Probably Galvin. Yeah, without Moses, I'd probably go Galvin. I just think I wouldn't be shocked to see him come out with a 20 banger this week, but he has shown he can go pretty solid. Hines and Brooks, I think, are definite plays. Then you got Pierce Paul, definitely go in for Smithies. Fermor go in for Ben Trbojevic, and Lane, I think, does go in for Tupanua. So, I mean, it's a pretty strong back row. We'll see. Hopefully they can get up. Terrell May and Liam Henry, we got to play. And then Reece Robson, clearly. So then our bench will be Ponga, Brooks. Yeah, we could. We definitely... Well, actually, you might go Bostock against the Titans. Ooh. Fuck, you probably do, right? You probably do take a punt on Bostock. I mean, yes, it would be nice. I guess if we bring in Coruscant as well, we obviously reserve Coruscant. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm torn. Like, what's better? Coruscant or Zach Lomax? That's sort of the question, right? Coruscant was obviously a lot cheaper for one. But he wouldn't have the ceiling typically of a Lomax or even any of the other guys really. Like even I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in Joey Manu if I'm honest. I don't know. This is one I'm going to have to think about. But I think, do you play Ben Trbojevic? I mean, he's been shocking, but they do take on Dragons. Tupanua takes on Penrith, so I probably would just take it off Tupanua for now. I think you take the punt on Bostock against the Titans, right? Like, surely there's some points in this game. Surely there's some points. I don't love the Bostock play, but it is it's a gamble. And then Tupanua, Smithies, or Ben Trbojevic. Or we bring in a Coruscant or a gun center winger. But again, I don't mind keeping Tuapiki because I got to think as well. Next week I will want to bring in Talangi, most probably, as the cheapie at the Eels, and then also. I guess there's Fatape potentially, but he's going to increase this week. I'm still not that keen on Fatape. Was there any other cheapies in the centre wing I'm missing? I mean, James Schiller is also a bit of a watch potentially there. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I'm a little bit torn. I am a little bit torn, but I do like the setup. I do like the setup a little bit better. I don't know. It could backfire not having a better 5'8", because if they're both young kids, so if they both start stinking it up, but I mean, I guess the goal here is that one of these guys makes. I mean, at the moment, it probably looks like Galvin's going to make the most amount of cash quickly, and we potentially try to trade up to Cleary as soon as possible when he's back, right? That's sort of the play. Now, we've got 400k in the bank already. Obviously, if we get Coruscant or if we get another gun center winger, that'll take a lot out, but we're also probably going to bring in Chan. We're probably going to bring in Chan after their buy, so we'll downgrade, get a couple 100k on the downgrade. So that there's more ways we can make money. I'm torn on the bloody. Oh, I don't know what to do. It's probably Coruscant, right? Like it's probably Coruscant. Oh, before we keep just wasting time, let's have a look at captaincy and vice captaincy. So, obviously the big boy. I mean, Hines takes on Canberra. What am I talking about? I mean, it's Tommy, right? Manly take on the Dragons. The captaincy has to be on Trbojevic, and then the vice captaincy, it could go on. I don't have any Bronco. Oh, I got Holmes. Fuck, I forgot. Dude, okay, we can put it on Holmes, the vice captaincy. That is juicy against the Bronx. Rabbitohs, Bulldogs, no one. And then Roosters, Penrith. I mean, you could put the vice captaincy on Dom Young, but you wouldn't expect a lot. So I think at the moment, I'm leaning Holmes, vice captain C, Trbojevic. Because obviously we can't go Ponga. I mean, with Tommy's matchup, you just can't go Ponga. Hines, I'm just not confident in. It is a pretty good matchup against the Raiders. I still think it's a pretty good matchup, even though the Raiders have been pretty good defensively. But so you could go vice captaincy Trbojevic and captaincy on Hines, but I just think Holmes vice captain against a very understrength Broncos, and then captaincy Tommy. I think that looks great. And then if we're going to loop, I mean, we got a couple actually we could drop. Actually, do we? Unfortunately, again, fucking. I mean, it's good and bad. Like, Liam Henry is pumping out good points, but like, he plays in the first game once again, so I can't drop. This was my plan with the front row. Like, I was gonna get a free loop with these fucking cheapies, but it's not happening. We can only do it in the center wing. We'd have to drop RTS. Okay, I'm not gonna loop. I'm not gonna be looping. Holmes has to go like 200 points to loop, I think. It's just is there any other way we can do it? I'm trying to think. I think that's the only way, right? Actually what we could do is, yeah, this would work. We could just have Tuivasa-Sheck as our reserve, and we would just drop Bostock. Yeah, okay, that works. That actually works perfectly. Yeah, beautiful. That works very, very well. And actually, this could determine who I trade. So if Holmes goes massive, and I want to take the loop, then yeah, I just keep Bostock as the loop option, and I don't trade another gun center winger, because then we're just not gonna. We probably could. Actually, no. we would have to, I just wouldn't trade a center wing gun because I would have to trade Gagai instead of Tuapiki. Well, I guess it's not the... Actually, no, we couldn't do that anyway because he's locked out. So, yeah, fuck, it's all fucking jumbled up, dude. But I think if Holmes goes massive, I'm just not going to trade for another gun center winger. I'll take the loop. I'll drop Bostock. That works pretty well in my opinion. And we'll probably get in Danny Levi. Not Danny. Fuck, I've got Danny Levi. I'll probably get in Api Coruscant. I think that's good. I think that's good getting in Api Coruscant. I mean, it's great. Honestly, it's very, very good. Our dummy, like, I didn't want to spend that much in the dummy halves, but like at the end of the day, like it's pretty strong at that point. And then, yeah. Although, actually, is it worth? No, we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. Actually, no, we can't. Oh my god, the games. I was looking at it like, no, if we do that, then I'm not going to be able to play Api Coruscant. But yes, I will, because they play one game before Manly. So I would have to trade Levi to Coruscant, and then I would just not play Trebojevic and play Api Coruscant. Okay, that works well, and honestly, I think I'm just going to do that. I think I'm just going to bring in Coruscant because my head is spinning with so many options. I'm interested to see what you guys think in the comment section. Like, I do want to say, like, I know people give suggestions and stuff. Like, it's not that I necessarily go with the suggestions or, like, ignore the suggestions. It's more the fact that, like, I go with my gut. Like, if I'm thinking of something, like, if someone points out something that is, like, really good info and like I look at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's actually much better, then sure, I'll change my mind. But like for the most part, if someone comes in, like if someone says in the comment section like definitely don't like run Galvin and Strange and do that, like I'm not going to do it because that's what their opinion is. Like I like to do things my own way. That's the fun about Supercoach. So, but regardless of that, I am excited to see what you guys have to say. Like, if there are any other pod center wingers you're keen on. I mean, there's a lot. I'm just, yeah, fuck. I do think I think using a boost this week is good. And then we probably should start saving a couple of trades, I think. I mean, it's probably not going to happen next week because, yeah, there's a couple of cheapies we'll probably want to bring in. But in a couple of weeks, we do want to start just saving a couple of a trade here and there. I think is going to be useful. But yeah, bringing in Holmes and Young and probably Coruscant, that's a fucking, well, that's a damn good swing, right? That's a pretty good swing of things. But we'll see. We'll see how we go. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying the content. This was a long one. I rambled on for a long time. But actually, no, about standard. About standard for my rambling. But yeah, I'll have to decide still what I'm going to do with that final trade, potentially. I mean, we don't have to use the boost, but I do think it's worth it. This week. And we just have to decide what we're going to do with it. Yeah. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.